Overall book sales have slowed down in the first half of 2023, but for romance, a nearly $1.5 billion industry to start with, sales went up nearly 35%. Despite that, romance authors say they're still facing stigma and often have to defend themselves against misconceptions about their place in the industry. Apple Valley News Now's Emily Goodell tells us Bookstore Romance Day is a way for indie booksellers to reach out to those authors and to recognize their work.
This Saturday, more than 20 romance authors from across the Pacific Northwest will be here at Inkling's Bookshop to sign books. That includes authors like Eleanor Aldrich, Rachel Van Dyken, Shelley Stevens, and Stacey Marie Brown, who tell me that while things are looking up for people who write romance, there's still a long way to go.
For the readers, oh my gosh, there's been a huge, just this rising of the book talk and people on like Instagram where they just have the hashtags for all the readers. And you kind of found your community, and it's so cool to see, like, no shame, this is what I'm reading.
But for romance authors, there's still judgment about their worth in the industry.
People immediately think that our writing is less than. The romance is somehow still put down as poo-pooing it, that you're not a real author.
You just kind of go, well, it's a real book. Makes me real money.
There's still stereotypes about what writing romance says about the author.
Bored housewife. Some people will think you're flaky, flighty, and not take you seriously. And I think that couldn't be farther from the truth. This is what I love to do. I am a lawyer, but I would rather be a writer a million times over because this is so much more fun.
And there's still a stigma that romance is all about the spice.
Just because you think it's romance doesn't mean that you're writing just sex all the time. And I think that's really important for people to remember. I talk on a ton of different awesome topics that really help people, cancer patients, people that are going through really bad depression, people that are suicidal.
I remember this one girl, she came to this Comic-Con I was at, and she's like, this is like one time in 5 months I've ever gotten out of my bed. I'm in so much pain all the time. And she's like, reading your books for those, how many hours that she did. She goes, I didn't feel pain. I was in another world. And I just burst into tears. I was just like, that's why we do this. If I can give you guys like one moment of feeling better about like, oh, this was so wonderful to be part of this world, there's no better reason to write.
And as the experts on love, they say, even if you may not be guaranteed a happy ending, you can build one for yourself.
Don't be afraid to just be you.
Read what you want, love what you want, and write what you want.
And if you're kind of in the dark and afraid, find those groups because you'll fit right in and you will find your people.
It might not be right away, but people will gravitate towards you because you are not alone.
Those authors and more than a dozen others will be here at Inklings this weekend from 1 to 3 to chat with readers, sign books, and to remind everyone that it's okay to take joy in other people's happily ever afters, even if they're not your own. Reporting in Yakima, Emily Goodell, Apple Valley News Now.